Hello, this is Sunil Sundaraj with njvarsity.rivals.com. I'm happy to welcome in Cedar Grove High School football senior wide receiver Anthony Bilotta. Anthony, thank you so much for taking some time out to speak with me tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, congrats on just an absolutely tremendous career there at Cedar Grove High School, Anthony. You've had some time now to just sit back and think, what you were able to do there. Just what comes to your mind first, Anthony?
Well, the last 4 years playing for Cedar Grove was like incredible. Really loved the experience. As soon as I stepped foot on the field my freshman year, it was just an overall like I can't believe I'm here. Like high school football, like it's a real deal now. So the last 4 years have been incredible.
I had to ask you, Anthony, especially going to your senior year. Talking to Brian last week, you guys didn't know if you were going to have a season or not, and especially being seniors that you want to finish out your career on a high note. And I know it was tough, no playoffs, no championships this year, but the fact that you guys got to play I said what, 8 games, I think it was. What was that, moment for you when you found out that you guys were going to be playing football in 2020?
Yeah, at first, once I heard the news, I was like, wow, like our senior year is really gonna be shortened, but like you gotta make the best of it. So every day we just came mentally prepared for practice, just put in the time. For me, like I just played every game as it was my last. Even on practice, I like cherish these moments. So it was definitely a ride the senior year.
I had to ask you those first practices and then that first regular season game. What was that for you personally? What did that mean, Anthony?
Our first game was our senior night, so just to be back, just to, like run out back in the field one last time.
Yeah.
On senior night it was like just like wow, like I can't believe time flew that fast. So it was just great to be back on the field, great to have a season, and we ended up winning that game. So it was very, very good night.
Yeah. I had to say, the numbers you put up this season, I was just able to tally them up here. Of course, the overall is just so incredible. But close to 900 yards receiving, 12 touchdowns. We were just before we came on the air, talking about quarterback Dario O'Brien, and just looking at the wide receiving core that you had this year. Tyler Rummel, Michael Marinelli, I think George Slattery. The fact that Dario was able to like distribute that ball, to all of you, but again, you're able to put up those impressive stats. Can you talk about senior year and just being able to accomplish that?
Yeah. So me and Darren were always had that connection back in like first grade. Always my quarterback. He pushed me every day. Me and him always had that connection. We would push each other in practice. I would like talk to him if he needed it. If he was down, I would pick him up. If I was down, he would pick me up. Even the guys around me, they helped me out tremendously. We can spread the ball around. So just having that connection, having like so many options, like opened up a lot for me.
Yeah.
And especially the other wide receivers as well.
Well, what makes Dario so unique? Just so special. Playing with him on that field, said, especially with Cedar Grove High School, Anthony.
Well, he put in the time, he put in the work. A lot of people didn't think he was going to be this great quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
Not a lot of experience, but he proved everyone wrong. He really grinded and took the time to himself to train, get better every day, and just I was impressed by him. And without him, I don't even think I would be the receiver I am today.
That's terrific. I'm just going back to the seniors. Was there any special goal or like a mantra, just something that you guys wanted to, as far as a senior class wanted to accomplish, here in 2020? I'm just wondering about that, Anthony.
Yeah, so we wanted to be undefeated. Obviously, it didn't happen. We came up short, one loss, which isn't too bad at all. We wanted to beat Verona, which we did. It was a crazy game. Want to win our senior night, and then we got the chance to play Booton in like the pod playoff thing or whatever, and just to beat them. They beat us last year in the championship. Got to get that revenge. Just a great feeling for all of us. We all really enjoyed that one. So this season was definitely one to remember.
Yeah, just jotting my notes down. USA Today Network, Super Football Conference Group 1 Team of the Year, and SFC, National White Division champs. The fact that you guys were able to, walk away with those honors, I'm sure meant a lot to you guys and the rest of the team, Anthony.
Yeah, definitely.
Uh, I had to ask you, of course, about your head coach, Brian, Gogarty, the rest of the coaching staff. Can you just talk about what they meant to you over these past 4 years in terms of your development?
Yeah, so first head coach, Coach Goes, he was always on top of everything. He really built the program, and even the coaches around it, everyone was so like passionate about the program. Um, I wouldn't want to play with any other group of coaches like them because they really pushed ourselves every time. They had practice prepare for us. They had film, game day. We always had that game plan to go back and try to beat the opponent. So honestly, without them, it was just a great season all around with them being there, pushing me the last 4 years. So
That's great. You know, week to week, and talking to a lot of other seniors, you didn't know if you were going to have a game or not. The fact that they said, again, you got 8 games in, you put in all the time of practice and, watching film. How tough was that, because, we talk about the physical part of the game, Anthony, but mentally just plays much as a critical role. Can you just, speak about that?
yeah, so like I said earlier, all of us, we didn't know when our last game was, so we were just very fortunate to play all games, and we just had to know we have to be safe outside of football. So we all dedicated that to not go out as much. And just with the group of guys, it was hard at first because we always bonded together. We always used to do stuff, and it was little this year, obviously. So without that, I mean, it was just luckily we got the 8 games in.
Yeah.
So
What was that final game for you, Anthony? I mean, taking that jersey off, that number 83 jersey. I had to ask you, what is that jersey? What is putting on that jersey, that number 83 represent to you? And of course, posting that great picture with your frame jersey. Just I said it definitely. There's a lot of pride you take in wearing that jersey.
yeah. So our last game was Madison. So that once the clock hit 0 on the board, it was it. And it was very emotional at the time because I wore that number since my freshman year. Just incredible. I love that number.
Yeah.
So being able to have that framed up and keep it forever is just it's just awesome. Just always gonna remember those 4 years in high school playing with the boys, my teammates. So
that's great. Hey, I want to go pivot back to the last 2 years. 2019, almost 1,000 yards receiving, 15 touchdowns. Dario throws 28 touchdowns. The year before, you had a different quarterback, and I wanted to ask you, going from I think it's Mike Lever, to Dario. Can you talk about that, with that transition and just the fact where you progressed, from 2018 and you made that significant jump as far as your numbers in 2019, Anthony?
Yeah, so I was a sophomore at the time. We had a really great other wide receiver, John Gamon, who plays at Rutgers now, and Mike was an incredible quarterback. He can run, throw the ball, do all of that. So even though Dario was the backup at the time, just being able to watch Mike do what he does, he really was able to do that on the field next year and wanted to be just like him, put up those numbers, be able to do all of that. So he did really put in the time.
Great. Hey, don't forget about your training. I've talked to a bunch of players. It's 24/7, 365, Anthony. Even if you end the season November, December, you're right back in the weight room and, on the field. And I had to ask you, as far as your training the past couple of years, what you were able to put into it and just what made the difference, as far as, when it came to, the regular season. Can you talk about that?
During the off season, summertime, I would always lift every day I possibly can. Obviously this year was different, but the years before that, just lift summer. And then I don't play a spring sport, so I would also do that in the spring. Just get my daily lifts in, try to run as much as possible. I actually did this past year, I trained with the guy for speed and just get all that stuff down, get faster, stronger. So just those every day.
It's great. Hey, I wanted to quickly talk or pivot to Cedar Grove High School, and I know it was difficult in 2020 with remote learning, but as far as the support from the students, administration, athletic director, and even the town of Cedar Grove itself, if you can just talk about that, Anthony.
Yeah, so we unfortunately were remote, but the administration obviously kept us engaged, wanted us to get our education, so we continue to do that. And just like even they support us at the games too, so they would always come and watch. So just like having that support there is just awesome. That's what I think makes our school known.
Mhm.
And just having like just honestly having them like supporting us like through this tough time, like it's just great to like know like they're here to help us, they're here to like for our futures. So
That tells you what makes those home games so special. Just the environment playing. Again, we
mhm.
know that limited fans in 2020, but if you can walk people through, as I said the past couple of years, what that feeling was like for you, Anthony.
Yeah, I would just say just playing like in front of that whole town, even though not most of them were there, but just knowing even our students, I mean, they were just like they jumped on tickets as soon as possible. They always come, they always get loud. It's just what they do, and just having them like support our games, even though it was a tough time, was just very cool. And it's wouldn't want to like leave them out. Even the parents made it possible, which is awesome. So just having them there was just we just gotta do it for them as well.
Yeah, that's wonderful. As we know, Anthony, it's just not being an athlete; it's a student athlete. I said you got to hit the books. I mean, how you guys, it's just truly remarkable how you guys are able to balance it out. I mean, again, with practice time and,
Mhm.
watching film and then games itself. But the fact that you've been able to do that, exceptionally well. Can you just talk about that aspect?
Yeah, so we'd have school early in the morning. We would do lifts, even before school sometimes too.
Hmm.
Do that before school, not just go to practice. It was all like condensed together, and just we just always had to make time for football. So we really put in the time, the film, practices, gave it our all. Just knew what we had to do on that Friday night. Just preparing. The coaches prepared us well because we went 7-1, which is outstanding for us. Haven't done that in a while, so it was just cool.
It's good. Hey, I just, it stands out. And I know you have it, of course, on your social media, but when you look back, you think two-time All-State, two-time All Essex County. Uh, the fact that I think you had written down 122 receptions, close to 2,000 yards receiving, 28 touchdowns, a 3-year starter, a captain. I mean, when you just put that all together, I mean, does it give you goosebumps? I mean, knowing how much you were able to again, accomplish there in your 4 years at Cedar Grove. I just had to ask you that, Anthony.
Yeah, so I would didn't really have much confidence in myself at first, but once I started gaining that confidence and just did what I did, I just knew I had to put in the time to get those stats and what I had to do in order to achieve my goals.
Yeah.
So I really put in the time and work to make those numbers be possible. So I just really gained confidence after my freshman year, really wanted to be that type of person, that playmaker on the team. So I just really grinded it out, workout, lifts,
Mhm.
conditioned myself. It was all worth it.
Well, that work ethic has led to you, committing to Fairleigh Dickinson University. Congratulations. I want to ask you just
Yeah.
about the process and what made, FDU, the perfect fit for you, Anthony.
Yeah, so when I first looked at the school, I visited and like right then there I fell in love with it. It's not far from home, which I like. And just the coaching staff just sounds like they're so passionate about their culture,
Mhm.
the program, what they're doing to it, and just they all have that passion and want to be like a great football team and want to like be conference champions, go to the playoffs, and all that good stuff. So I just want to be a part of that, and that's what made me have my decision.
Yeah, just talk about your interaction with Coach Robertson. I said he definitely. I mean, you're talking about one of the best coaches out there. In New Jersey. I mean, I think he's right up there. Can you just talk about that?
Yeah, so he's just very passionate guy about his program. I mean, he communicated on daily basis every day, just checking in over the season. Would just have like talks about like the past game that we just played, and he would always just be there and just check in for me. So that's the type of coach I would need. Even the other coaches staff, the wide receiver coach and all that too, would always check in as well. So having that support, just like that's what I need in a football program.
Great. Just have a couple more. Can't thank you enough for the time, Anthony. I don't want to forget about family. If you want to talk about your parents and if you have any siblings and just the support that you've received, of course, before attending Cedar Grove and now of course, as you wrap up your high school career here, can you just talk about that?
Yeah, so my family really did push myself to be the person I am today, obviously. They really helped me along the lines, driving me to practices, getting me to do all these types of sports because it doesn't last forever, all that stuff. And just being there, like having the support they gave me was just phenomenal. I really like and loved it. And having them be at all my games, basically, and having all that support, just really, really loved it.
Great. I was wondering when you were growing up, Anthony, any other sports you played besides football as well?
Yeah, I played basketball in the winter.
Okay, great. I'm wondering, like, how, I've asked other players, like, how one sport can affect another sport as far as the training and can help you, again, become an elite athlete. Can you just talk about what, the game of basketball, how that translates, to the gridiron? I'm just wondering about that, Anthony.
Yeah, so after football season, I had basketball. I mean, it's kind of hard to get more lifts in, but I try my best to get in there. Definitely helps me get in shape and not like lose like the conditioning I already had from football previously. So, and I just carried that on to the springtime, just get back into the gym, get more lifts in, continue to condition myself, and just be the player.
Great. So I'm wondering when it comes to college, NFL, what wide receivers, said you definitely try to follow, Anthony.
Yeah, I mean I'm a big Giants fan,
Okay.
so I really liked Odell Beckham. You know, he got traded to the Browns. I look up to Devontae Adam, how he runs routes,
Yeah.
Keenan Allen, Adam Thielen, all those guys. They're really special.
It's great. Okay, final question is that I usually end this with a lot of players is that, being a senior
Mhm.
and, the fact that you were at a freshman at one point. So now here you are able to pass down your knowledge, experience to the underclassmen. And, previous years, I'm sure you see a lot of kids at games and, they're playing Pee Wee, junior football.
Mhm.
Just wondering what your message, your advice is for kids out there, because, it is a much different climate, much different, especially social media, other factors, but trying to figure out, how to, again, move up the ladder and eventually, play varsity football one day. I'm just wondering what your advice would be to those younger athletes or younger players.
Yeah, so I would say honestly, you never know when it's your last time out there because it really does fly.
Yeah.
So honestly, I would just enjoy every moment. Doesn't matter what level you're playing at, and if you have a dream, you can just chase it. Just go get it and do whatever you can.
Sounds good. Hey, Anthony, again, it's been a pleasure, speaking with you. Thank you for the opportunity, again, to interview you. Congratulations again on a stellar career there at Cedar Grove High School and with graduation upcoming in a couple of months. And, again, wishing you, I said, all the best at Fairleigh Dickinson University this upcoming fall.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.